Selling your home while you still need to buy a new one can be daunting and stressful. Today, I want to give you 9 tips to help you buy and sell a home at the same time. Hi, I'm Troy Schlicker, owner and broker of Reserve Realty here in Austin, Texas. I hope you enjoyed the video and can find the tips useful, and would love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified when new videos hit. Searching for a new home can be exciting. However, in today's ultra-competitive market, many buyers are finding the process overwhelming and stressful. If this is you, don't feel alone. That doesn't mean, however, that you should just throw up your hands and give up the search. In fact, if you currently own a home, you can be in a more advantageous position to take advantage of the current market conditions. Let's take a look at a few tips to help you navigate this competitive market. The most common question I get asked by homeowners is what would happen if they were to sell their current home prior to finding a new home to purchase. This is an understandable concern, given how competitive the market is for home purchases, that they may not be able to find a home quite as quickly as their home would sell on the other side. There are, however, a handful of options that a homeowner can use to help make that transition as smooth as possible. First, you want to use your superior negotiating position to flex your muscle as a seller. In a competitive market like we have right now, buyers are willing to give more concessions to sellers in order to get the home of their dreams. This means sellers can negotiate things like leasebacks or extended closing times in order to give them more time to find their new home while they still live in their current home. In some cases, a buyer may only be able to provide a 60-day leaseback in order for them to get financing on the home. But in others, if a buyer is paying cash, they could do a leaseback for an indeterminate amount of time, assuming it fits in their schedule. A second option to look at is short-term housing. This can come in the option of living with family and friends, finding furnished apartments, or short-term rentals. Ideally, you'd like to find a place where you only have to move your possessions once versus moving them into an entirely new house or apartment and then having to move again. While this may not be the ideal situation, it will give you more flexibility to buy a home on your terms, as well as potentially finding a short-term place to live in a neighborhood you're considering purchasing in to give you a better idea of what that neighborhood is going to be like. A third option is to embrace the idea of selling now and buying later. For some people, to eliminate some of the stress, it's better to focus on one part of the process and then the other at separate periods of time. By focusing on selling your home, you can do everything needed to ensure you get top dollar for your home and that the process goes as smooth as possible. Then, once you've made that sale, you will be in a more advantageous position when buying your next home, as you'll have the proceeds from that home sale in your bank account. The second major question I get asked by homeowners is what would happen if I'm stuck with 2 mortgage payments simultaneously? While this scenario is less likely to happen in today's market where homes tend to sell relatively quickly, it is important to consider to make sure that you have the right solution should that situation arise. If you're truly in the position where you can't afford 2 mortgage payments simultaneously, you might want to consider selling at separate times to avoid the stress and have the flexibility to get each part of the home selling and buying process done for you. The first tip is to get your home ready to sell quickly. The easiest way to avoid multiple mortgage payments is to have your home ready to sell from the minute you start the buying process. Making sure your home is decluttered and looks good will help buyers appreciate all your home has to offer and make them more likely to submit an offer on the home. Getting an offer on your home and getting it sold is the quickest way to avoid double mortgage payment. The second tip is to make sure you have all of your paperwork in order. Just like when you're buying a home, you want to be pre-approved for a mortgage and have all your income and asset documents in order. When you're selling a home, you want to have all your paperwork in order so that once you go under contract, you can provide all the information needed to a buyer to make sure the closing goes smoothly and quickly. Things like seller's disclosures, HOA documents, and title can be handled quickly and efficiently if the paperwork is done properly up front. And getting the process done efficiently will help you close sooner and avoid double mortgage payments. A third tip would be to look at contingencies you can include in the purchase contract of your new home. It's possible for you and your agent to put a contingency in the offer on the new home that your sale won't go through until you sell your current home. Now, this can be a little tricky in today's competitive market where a seller may have multiple buyers willing to put an offer on their home and others who don't require that same contingency. But it's something to consider if the situation is right and can help you avoid double mortgage payment. A third question that I get asked is, what if I mess up the timing or get burned out from all the stress during the process? Buying or selling a home, or doing both simultaneously, are always much more stressful than most people realize. To help make sure you're in the right headspace, make sure you have as many things in order to help the process go smoothly, and delegate as many of the activities as possible to take them off your plate. Some tips to help deal with this are to remember to relax and that compromise is going to be inevitable. Not to get all zen here when you're looking for some specific actions, but your plan A is likely to go completely to schedule. That means you have to be prepared for the unknown, and having a great team in place who can help you navigate the process is going to make it easier and less stressful for you and provide you contingencies when that plan A starts to go awry. The second tip is not to worry too much if your plan starts to go awry. No two transactions are ever exactly the same, and yours is unlikely to go exactly how you envisioned it. Understanding what your ultimate goals are will help you get there, regardless if the path isn't what you had anticipated. Having a good team in place will help you navigate the twists and turns that may happen during the selling or buying process. My final tip is to enlist help early. Too many homeowners and home buyers wait until the moment they're ready to buy and sell to reach out to an expert in order to help them with the process. By contacting those experts weeks or months earlier, they can advise you on steps to set up the process to be less stressful when you are ready to move forward with the home purchase or home sale. It's most experts' job to share the burden of the process and make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Selling and buying a home at the same time can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be a nightmare. By educating yourself on the process and partnering with professionals who are knowledgeable and trustworthy, you can make your goals and dreams come true. If you need help reviewing your options or you have questions, reach out and contact us as we offer a free consultation.